this isn't porn. This is just like real normal people, fucking construction workers and Trader Joe's like cashiers just coming together and having an orgy. Yeah.
Your wardrobe screams fatherless. Do you have more trust in that top-Zyping people?
How was your relationship with your father? Just saying, why did you get the attention you wanted?
You need Jesus. That's offensive. All right, hello everyone.
Hey.
Welcome back to That's Offensive, capital OF. I don't know why I have to say that every time, but I just like really want people to understand that like almost everyone I have on are OnlyFans people and that we're whores.
If it's not obvious.
If it's not obvious.
I mean, what else would I be doing for work? Like, look at me. Like, what am I doing?
You could go to like anime conventions. I could see you like dressing up like that.
I used to work at Shake Shack, and I felt like people were like, "Why the fuck are you working here?" Like, I was a fucking fry cook, and I would just be like a really sexy Shake Shack girl, and people would be like, "Okay." Like,
did I already say your name was Kazumi? Did I introduce you?
Hi, I'm Kazumi. Yay!
Yay! I'm like, how awkward would it be if we went this whole episode and I was like, and people are like, who am I listening to?
What's your fucking name again? Hi, I'm Kazumi. If you don't know me, you're about to get to know me in the worst way.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, I want to start with like a little icebreaker, a little question to get us like a loosey-goosey.
I'm already pretty loosey-goosey.
What would you say like your most awkward sexual encounter was, and what do you think you could like tell that man or woman right now?
So my first time ever hooking up with a girl. So first of all, I'm Asian, she was Asian, and we kind of like looked alike for a bit. And I was really like attracted to her like long, sexy black hair. And this was near and I had long, sexy black hair. Yeah. And like it was about to be Halloween, and she wanted me to come over, and I was like, all right. Like, I'm so excited to like fucking eat pussy for the first time. I've like Urban Dictionary'd it. I'm excited. And she was like, hey, I want to be Mr. Clean for Halloween. I was like, okay. And she was like, I want you to shave my head. So we like had like a sexy shower time where I shaved her head, and then she was completely bald. And then I kind of was like, I don't know if I'm like sexually attracted to her anymore, because she was just so bald and her head was bleeding and stuff. But anyways, I was like, okay, well, you are now like the perfect. I admire her dedication to be Mr. Clean. But so I ate her out. And she was like, cool. And then with me, she was like, you have to wear a dental dam, which is like those like little saran wrap balloon things you put on the pussy to like lick. So she was like,
wait, it's explain that, because I've never heard of this.
So if you're, I don't know how gay you are, like on the gay spectrum, but like, you know, like some people like suck dick with a condom. The equivalent for lesbians is like you get a dental dam, which is like a stretchy thing. It's like putting saran wrap on your pussy, so you lick my pussy, but you're licking the saran wrap.
Yeah, so like you can't catch anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of was like, I don't know if I like this saran wrap pussy eating experience. Like, and I felt like I already ate her pussy, so I kind of, not that she owes me an exchange.
Oh, so she didn't wear a dental dam?
No, I just ate her pussy and tasted it, and then she got the strap on, and I turned her around, and I was like so excited to hit it from the back. I was like, oh my God, all these men are going to be so ashamed because I could throw it down. And within like 2 minutes, my knees were fucking breaking. I was like, I don't know if this is like my calling at all. And she kind of turned around and was like, you know, you could stop at any point. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'll go. And then I left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was, I don't know, I just felt so weird because like I wanted her to keep the hair. Like I was attracted to her feminine beauty, and like her becoming bald was like such like I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
I was not prepared to like shave someone bald at that moment.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely attracted to more like femme girls.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, me personally, I've only had like, I've had quite a bit, like, of female experiences. Like, I definitely had quite a few, but at the same time, like, I don't think I'm, like, the most sexually active person because I have, like, a lot of, like, trauma to, like, work through. That's fine. It's fine, but it just makes me, like, I'm not, like, the most experimental because I haven't found a person or, like, somebody that just makes me feel so fucking safe. At least, like, with a guy, like, with girls, I'm a little more. But it's almost like I'm hooking up with my friends. Like, we eat each other out, but it's, like, how far do we both want to go? Like, we don't know.
Like,
and then when we get there.
You just kidding. Let me eat you out. No homo. I feel that. No, I've definitely slowly gotten more comfortable with girls because I feel like, you know, like college, I mean, like obviously, like, you know, you just experiment and play around.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like through doing more scenes with girls, I've like started to be like, all right, pussy is cool. Now that I know like what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I've only had like girls use strap-ons with me, but I don't think I've used a strap-on on another girl yet.
I don't like dildos.
I actually do, surprisingly.
okay.
Like,
You're a sicko.
maybe, what's that one song that's like, you ain't a lesbian unless you got a strap on or like
Yeah.
use a strap on or something? I'm like, I definitely do like getting fucked with a strap on. Like, it is, for me, it's like kind of fun.
Hats off to you. Well, I can fuck with a strap.
Yeah.
I've learned. If you ask, if I could talk to her again, I would say, please let me put the strap on you one more time. Like
you got better?
I'm way better. I feel like I
Yeah.
really get into like,
Uh-huh.
I felt like at the time, like I felt like sex was supposed to be, you know, especially when you have sex with men a lot.
Yeah.
I just kind of lay there and like cool shit happens. But with a woman, it's like you have to like finger and just be like really present and have like sex for like 7,000 hours.
Yeah.
So I feel like I like didn't understand doing the strap because I didn't really feel like I was getting any pleasure at the moment. I felt like I was just staring at her and being like, cool, this is great. But now I'm like, the pleasure is like me seeing her like be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have always wanted to like peg people I just like don't respect at all. Like I've said that a lot. Like Mark Zuckerberg, like I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But
I have a tale for you. I don't know if you're ready for this.
I'm ready.
Okay, so oh my god, me and my homegirls, there was like 8 of us in Vegas, like just partying in the Cosmopolitan. And this white guy, this like old white guy, like Santa Claus type white guy comes up to us and is like, hey, I want a gangbang. And you know, it's Vegas, so living La Vida Loca, we like are like, let's pull up. So we all 8 of us go to our room, but we're like 8 girls, and we're like, well, where are the men?
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys are the men. And he had like a little communal bag of dildo strap-ons.
Wow.
And we all put the strap-ons on and we all ran a train on him and we all pegged his asshole.
Wow.
We pegged him for like 6 hours. His asshole was like, you could throw a hot dog into the hallway.
Oh my god.
Right? I
Wait,
was like,
how fun was that?
Dude, it was so, and I fucked him missionary. So I fucked him in the ass missionary, like looking him straight in the eyes, like, yeah, you like that, old man? And then like he would say like, yeah, I love your Asian. I would be like, no, we are not going to go there. That's too far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so many women are like, so many men are fetishizing Asian women nowadays, and I'm like, I don't.
I feel like it's not even nowadays. They've always.
Oh, have they always?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like men and women, like they shouldn't like fetishize a race.
Yeah, you'd
It's
think
just
they would know that.
Yeah, you would think people are like more socially aware.
Yeah.
But no.
I feel like I definitely like when I first started like had like some type of like sex worker guilt because. You know, obviously, I'm in the Asian category.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like how much of my existence reinforces like negative stereotypes that idiots can't see is a fantasy and not necessarily like a reality of all Asian women.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, we all like exploit ourselves, you know, and choose to.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and you only have to worry about yourself. I feel like you have like no obligation to like.
Yeah. I mean, I am for you guys, for the Asian people, but I definitely am a super big slut, but that's not because I'm Asian, you know what I mean? Like I just happen to be a dick-loving whore and Asian.
So tell me about your like childhood.
Oh, my childhood. Oh, well, here I am talking about my Asian childhood again. Yeah. So I had a really strict upbringing. I wasn't allowed outside till I turned 17. So that meant weekends I didn't go outside, summers I didn't go outside, holidays I didn't go outside. It was just school, and then I went right back home.
Were you allowed to like hike? Were you allowed to like exercise?
With my family, but I wasn't allowed to just like be out with friends. I had a tracking device on my phone. And I also didn't get a phone until I turned 18. So, like, it was just kind of really hard and strict at the time. But I feel like whenever I talk about my strict upbringing, people are like, that's why you're the way you are, huh? And, dude, I was a whore. Like, I remember, like, throwing, like my Barbies and Kens and, like, other Barbies, whatever the fuck their name is, and put them in a box. And I would just be like, and I'd be like, they're having an orgy, Mom.
How old were you?
I'd be like a kid, and I'd be like, you know, I'm not even a porn watcher. Like, I felt like I just was always, like, inherently attracted to, like, sexy. The first thing I ever masturbated to was because I was scared to, like, look up porn. I thought, like, it would be, like, a scary thing. I felt like my dad could see my history. So I would Urban Dictionary, like, words. Like, I'd be, like, 69. And I would, like, fucking masturbate to, like, the definition of 69. Like, 'cause it would usually have, like, a little paragraph, like, of like Jack and Sally met and they 69, and I'd be like, fuck. Wow.
So like you grew up in a very religious household, right?
I wouldn't say religious. I would just say religious. Strict.
Very
like,
strict.
In general, I feel like, especially like growing up as like the older daughter, I feel like, and like my parents were first generation immigrants. I feel like they were really like. Yeah. I would say like my parents. I was like normally religious. It wasn't like that. It definitely wasn't like a thing that was like a big deal in my life. I feel like I definitely was part of a faith, and now I'm just kind of like whatever. Yeah. I have no beef with the church at this moment.
I do. But like, do you ever resent like your parents for being controlling, or like, are you very thankful that like you became who you are?
So I used to have a lot of resentment. So when I was about 19 or 20, my parents kicked me out because
How old were you?
I was like 19 or 20.
Oh, I don't know why I heard 16 in my head. I'm like, wow.
No.
Okay.
No, I was 19. I had a shitty boyfriend, and I how do I say it? Like I broke curfew. Curfew was 10 p.m. and I just didn't come home on time. So my dad just threw a bunch of garbage bags and was you're out. Like you're gonna live. And I lived with my stupid like abusive ex-boyfriend for a bit. He cheated on me, and it was just such a mess. And it started like about 2-3 years of like chronic homelessness.
Yeah.
Which sucked so much ass. I eventually was able to save up enough for a place in like South Central, but it got broken in on New Year's Eve. So I was houseless again for a second, and I moved back to my parents.
Okay. Oh, so your parents let you come back?
Yeah, so we're cool now. Well, that was not the end of my story. We still had beef for a long time. But I feel like the more I just like see my parents and I see that they're old, flawed human beings, because a lot of my friends are now like old, flawed human being parents.
Yeah.
I'm always like, all right, like I could forgive that. Like they were doing their best. You know? Yeah.
Definitely. Like, were you able to even be a hoe in high school? Because wait, how? Like, where did you have to like go in like the school bathrooms, or like how did you?
So I felt like I feel like this is why I'm such an internet person now, because I was always on the internet because I couldn't fucking go outside. So I would be like on those like Omegle things. Like I would be on Omegle just like like doing my thing.
Wow.
Doing my thing, trying to like meet like some like beautiful man like in some other country that would save me from like my life of shittiness. But I was a little religious, as in I didn't want to go to hell. So I didn't want to like have sex before marriage for a long time. So I would do the poop hole loophole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would do it in the booty.
Wait, so how were you able to do that if like guys weren't?
Senior year of high school, I joined a lot of like social clubs, and I would just say like that I'm at a club. I'm at like fucking my ASB and some shit, and it's at 7 p.m. So I would like sneak in and do stuff like that. But I was also like super sneaky. Like I had wigs, like I had different outfits. I would like walk out in bus stops with like giant sunglasses and giant hats and be like. The need for speed.
Do you think like having very strict parents, like I just think it makes to such sneaky kids, because I snuck out too, because my curfew was like 9 p.m. or something.
I was a sneaky girl for sure, and it was more like it was just like I couldn't even do normal stuff. Like I couldn't even just go to fucking Subway with my friends like after school. Like so I felt like it just taught me to like just figure shit out. Like I just wanted to experience things as a normal teen. I mean, as you can see, I'm fine-ish.
Fine.
Yeah,
Well, you're a rich bitch, though, and living
Woo-hoo.
your best life.
Yeah.
Woo! So, like, because I grew up, like, very religious, but I, like, also grew up with strict parents who, like, did say things like, you need to, like, suppress your sexuality, or, like, you can't masturbate. Like, I was taught all of these things, so, like, I think growing up, at least when I was like younger until I hit high school, because then when I actually started doing things, I felt less ashamed, but like I felt very ashamed growing up for even having like sexual urges or having sexual like anything, because I was taught those feelings like aren't normal. So did you ever feel ashamed or embarrassed that like you wanted to be a whore?
I would say like I didn't really feel ashamed or you know what it was? It's like back to like the Asianness of like myself, where I felt like there was a time where I struggled with my identity being like, you know, like the first white guy I ever hooked up with, he asked me if I could be his little geisha.
Oh, wait, what is a geisha, though?
Well, a geisha is like a Japanese entertainer. It's not necessarily sex work. But They do a lot of like hostessing. They'll do like the tea dance. But like in like World War I or World War II, they were like, you know, like it's not a cool term for a white guy to call me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I actually that's why I lost my poop hole loophole virginity too.
Okay.
So, so I had a lot of guilt with like I wanted to have sex and I wanted to have anal sex, but I also was like, you can't say that, dude. Like I didn't want to be like his Asian experience. Like, I wanted to just have my experience without representing the whole Asian nation of like, oh yeah, there are freaks like that. You know, like I didn't want to like contribute to like dangerous notions of like the type of women we are. Like I just happen to be a whore and Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I happen to be both. Yeah.
How do you think like, I mean, what would you tell men who like say shit like that? I mean, now you probably have like more of a voice, or like you feel like how do you get like men to stop saying shit like that, or to be like more woke?
I mean, I just, at the end of the day, like, it's like, for example, like, we're like, obviously, like, not MILF category. We're, like, college girl category in porn, you know?
Yeah,
it's
I would say, like, a girl next door. I don't even know if I have a fetish. I got denied from Pog Reddit, and I'm like...
Well, I think you have a fat enough ass.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it was, like, I would say... At this point, I just don't engage. You know, I mean, fuck you, pay me. Like, if you're going to fetishize me, then you can pay us, and like, you know, I can philanthropize that money into like other shit. But I mean, we all exploit ourselves at the end of the day. Like, I brand myself as a college girl, but I'm not fetishizing like young bitches. Like, that's just like my category. If you want to easily search up what I do.
Easily, OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Yeah.
Do you think like the pattern of having like shitty boyfriends was based off of like convenience, because like they were the ones that you could like get in contact with when you were able to contact people, or do you think like you just found them somehow?
I think for a long time I attracted what I was, which was like an insecure woman who just wanted sexual attention, who couldn't go, like, I couldn't go outside, you know, I couldn't just like go on a normal date with a guy my age. So when you go on the internet, you just talk to these guys who are older and they seem like they got it going on and they give you all that attention and you think it's cool, and then you realize it's not fucking cool. You realize it's like really not cool at all. So, like, I remember, like, being, like, 16, like, just, like, you know, trying to hook up with these guys that were, like, 21, 22, and thinking that was the coolest shit ever. And now I'm 24, thinking about those types of 22-year-olds, and I'm, like...
Like, those, like, 22-year-old men, I mean, they're just, like, predators at that point.
Yeah, like it's,
that's
like...
very much...
Yeah, I was not having sex. I didn't have sex till I turned, like 18, 19. But I was getting, like, fingered and, like, eaten out. So I would, like... That would be, like, the end of it. I'd be like, we did it. We hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Sex.
Do you think you still carry around any of the trauma from being like controlled and feeling like you had to like rely on boyfriends to like kind of get you out of a situation?
I feel like I've actually turned that, I've turned that trauma into something that like, you either make excuses or you make your excuses to lose eventually become your excuses to win, right?
Yeah.
So like I would depend on like my ex-boyfriends at the time for everything, right? And so I got kicked out every time they cheated on me, which was lame, right? So I'm totally all about financial independence now, which is why I take my OnlyFans so seriously, and I'm like so focused on having my own money and having my own image and identity and sense of self, because I feel like I have more honest relationships this way, where I feel like I could date a guy and I don't have to care about how much money he makes or who the fuck he is, because I know what I offer. I'm a cool ass bitch, and I also have a lot of money. So if you're not cool, I could just do the same shit myself, over there, right? So I feel like I'm able to have like also just deeper friendships and deeper like connections, because I don't care about those outside things. I like a regular ass dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. So these men that cheated on you, because I think it's funny that you mentioned when we were like talking on the phone in our pre-interview that you really wanted. So okay, first we need to know the difference between like with the polys, because I'm confused.
Yeah.
As to
so polyamory is the relationship structure is a form of ethical non-monogamy that is a relationship structure where everyone is free to have multiple relationships simultaneously with the consent of everyone involved. So at this point in my life, I feel like I'm more of a swinger, you know, but that's mostly because I'm just too busy to like create that emotional connection with somebody. But polygamy is more of like, it's kind of an outdated term that's more reserved for people that have like marriages, you know, which like those people that have like hella wives and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's more like, I don't know. I feel polyamory is like the more recent term for what I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is like the term, if there is one, when it's like, it's basically like a throuple, like 3 people are dating. Triad?
Triad.
Okay, we're learning shit today.
I have a friend, and she has one boyfriend of 8 years and one boyfriend of 6 years. And they all go on vacations together. You know, I sometimes hook up with one of her boyfriends because he's cool. And I'm just like, this is so awesome. This is great for your taxes. Like, this is like how we need to have, like, you know, relationships now.
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, that's like sick for, I mean, I don't know. I just haven't been in a like healthy relationship ever, so I can't imagine having more than one.
Yeah,
let alone one.
It starts with having a good relationship with yourself.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, and then you can start sharing that love for like tenfold, right? Because love is like sunlight. Like you don't. It's not like water where I give you like some and then I give it to like I don't know like Mikey and she has less. Right? You have enough love for yourself, your job, your family, your friends, and your multiple romantic partners.
Yeah. So what was this? So you always knew you wanted to be. I'm just gonna say like poly because that right.
Polyam.
Polyam.
Because
okay.
Poly
Polyam
is like Polynesian, so polyam.
Oh.
Like polyamorous. I'm like I'm Filipino.
Wait. So polyam.
Polyam.
So you always knew that you wanted to be that, right?
Yes, like ever since high school, I just felt like I feel like sexual like romantic exclusivity it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like for a lot of other people, it makes sense for their structures, but for me, I like to have as many experiences as possible, and people are the best books. So I remember even in high school, like I had these two guys that were homies, and like I would hook up with both of them, and I would hold both their hands like in the hallways and stuff.
Oh my God.
And I would have like, you know, like I would like go on like dinner dates with like 5 dudes, and they all had a crush on me. You know, I would make out and kiss all of them. You know.
Wait, like so was it all one dinner and there were 5?
Yeah, one dinner. Like it'd be like the Last Supper type.
Like fight till the death.
I will give you all my vagina.
Oh. And then like these men that you ended up dating wanted to be monogamous.
I would say so. I had like the wrong like radar for it when I first started because I mean like when you're like 18, 19, 20, like I mean every guy is like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, yeah, fuck whoever. And then they realize that it's actually still a relationship that like requires like a lot of communication and trust and building that foundation. And then they also realize that we may not be available at the same time. It's like you're no longer entitled to like my body or like my time. So sometimes like you're not doing anything, but I'm fucking someone else, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa, like you're fucking someone else. What am I doing? Like, do we always have to be doing something? So I felt like I had a lot of guys who were like, yeah, I could do this. And then I would fuck a guy and they'd be like, I don't know, man. So then they would say monogamy, and then once they were monogamous, then they would cheat on me. And I'd be like, you're such a freaking fool. Like, you know? Yeah.
Because you were always pretty upfront and honest
I would
about
always
it.
say it. So I would say a lot of guys I casually dated were like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And then for some reason, the boyfriends I chose would be like really like about monogamy. And then like they would cheat on me, and I'd be like, this is so stupid. Like, this is like the dumbest shit ever. Like, we could have had like an honest conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most men aren't ready to have those kinds of conversations.
Everyone wants a hoe until like they do hoe shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it like a deal breaker now for your relationships?
I also feel like, you know, like let's say like if you hit your goal this year of making $400K a month, right?
Yeah.
I would be really happy for you, right? So the same way, like if I had a boyfriend and then he fucked another girl, I would be really happy for him that he had that experience. Like I would like to have a boyfriend that people would share and like be like, this is a cool boyfriend. So I would yeah, I need to have like a boyfriend that's like okay with sharing and being shared because I like to spread the love. Like I like to be like, this is my penis and it's cool and we're gonna come home together later.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Do you prefer experiences together? Or do you prefer them separate, or do you like both in different ways?
I like both in different ways. I like to like kind of mob with my best friend, you know, like be a wingman, be a wingwoman. But I also like to have my own separate experience and then come together at the end of the night and be like, cool, so this is what I did, this is what you did, and I liked when this guy did this. Let's try this in the bedroom, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So you just went to like an adult resort.
Yes.
Which, okay, I've never heard of this even before you. I feel like I live under a sex rock because like
sex rock.
I mean, I'm like learning like as much as like probably a lot of my listeners are learning. I'm learning because I don't know most of the shit. Because guess who has cobwebs in her vagina?
Yeah.
Me.
I'll test them out for you.
I'll test them out.
Yeah.
Girls touch only.
Yeah.
So like, can you just explain what an adult resort is for the people who are stupid like me?
Yeah. So there's multiple types. So I frequent sex clubs and swinger clubs and dungeons, and they're all really different. I've gone to a lot of like gangbang villas. So this was like not necessarily. So there's places like, I don't know if you're going to bleep it, hedonism. Like hedonism is like a swingers nudist resort. Temptations was a topless resort where like because you could be topless, a lot of swingers just went there. But unlike hedonism has like orgy huts and spaces to just have sex in, like, you know, on the spot. Temptations, like you still like, you know, you can't just like fuck on the pool like.
Okay.
So but there are lots of swingers and they usually like signify themselves with like a pineapple bracelet or some shit, and then you can meet in a hotel room and stuff.
Okay, got it. So there are some where you can have sex on the spot, and those are resorts still, or are they like technically dungeons?
They're resorts. So dungeons are more of like a BDSM space. Like I would imagine like there's like a St. Andrew's Cross and like, you know, just like a different setup, because if you go to a lot of BDSM spots, they don't allow sex. So they're like very different from each other.
Okay, got it. So like at the resort that you went to, like how do you go, okay, so you realize that people have like pineapples or something.
Yeah.
So like it's not awkward when you go up to a couple, because like there's not that awkward like are you or are you not, or like
and you can usually feel it out pretty quickly. Like I want like a couple, or for me, the sexiest thing for me is not about like a person's bank account or what they look like at all. It's about their enthusiasm. Like do I feel like they want me and they want me to be there? Like I'm not really a chaser. Like I want us to come together and be like, this is gonna be something fucking cool.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the couples that I spoke to at that resort, they were either very like, hi, like, you know, like what's going on? Versus like, you know, like those couples that are like, hey, I'm not sure if I want to do this. Like I don't want to like tread onto someone's like territory like that.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
not that people are territory, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of couples have their own like rules that like, you know, I would rather they come to me. But I also like single men a lot more than couples anyways. I'm not really a unicorn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because like when it's like a couple, like do you have to be attracted to both, or do you sometimes just like favor one or the other? Because
that's why I like singles more, because I mean there's solo polyamory where, you know, like if I like me not dating anyone, I'm still a polyamorous person, just the same way like you're not dating anyone but you're still like bisexual. Like,
yeah.
You know, so I feel like with couples, sometimes it'll be like I'm attracted to one and not the other, and sometimes I'm not really into a package deal like that. I'd rather have like one-on-one sex, but like a lot of one-on-one sex, which is why I like gangbangs, because it's like cool, instead of like, hey, like this is my wife, we've been together 7 years, no kissing her, no butthole, like no hand
okay.
Yeah, so
so sometimes the wife doesn't want to be that involved and it's just for the guy?
Yeah, like I prefer to just have like my own experience. That's, if I had like a person with me, having those shared experiences are awesome, because I don't really have that many rules. But I prefer to just kind of like be with like men who are really happy to see me. Yeah.
Okay, so like if a couple asks to like join you and like you think one is attractive and one is not attractive, like how do you say no, or how do you like?
I just say no, thank you. It's not, so I have actually never been to a normal club or bar, because or I think I have, but it frightens me too much, because there's so many social constructs and also I feel like the men there don't really understand consent, whereas like at a sex club, first of all, a lot of the social constructs are gone. People are already naked. People already know, hey, I'm here because I want to have sex or want to be around sex. So I feel like it's easier to ask people, hey, do you want to have sex? And then I could politely say, no, thank you. And they're like, okay, cool. And they just like fuck off and do something else rather than be like dickheads about it. Like there's enough, like, it's a close-knit enough community that's full of like a lot of respect and like empowerment, especially for women. So I feel like, yeah, I've said no and people have said no to me, and it's like you just keep it moving.
Yeah. Keep it moving like a groovin'. So like if you're going to like go into like a gangbang or something, and it's like there's like a bunch of men like ready to fuck you, but there's like one you're just like, that is an ugly motherfucker. You just like tell him to leave.
So I'm like the conductor, right? So I've been to many gangbang parties. Obviously, that's what I did for a bit. And I mean, there's like closed orgies and open orgies, right? So like some girls, I have a friend, she's into open orgies, so they're free-for-alls, you know? If her legs are open and she's like saying, give it to me, anyone who's in there can get in there, right? For me, I like to fuck, you know, sexy ass dudes. I don't like them too old unless they're like really like awesome. So when I like to come, I like to be like you, and you. And then the rest of you guys can watch. So a lot of people think with gangbangs, like I'm fucking them for like 2 hours. And that's definitely not what's happening. I like the visual. And I like the craziness. But I also am like a fast mover. So I'll be like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. You know, while I'm sucking, and they're just like rotating like a clock, and then I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get a snack, and then I fuck off. So and that's like, I've only had sex for like 15 minutes. You know, like, well, there's no difference between fucking 15 protected men in 15 minutes versus one man who's protected.
So they all use like condoms and stuff like that. Do they like have you like STD scan beforehand, or just the condoms you think is enough?
So condoms are enough for me because I mean I just stay protected, and I get tested every 14 days. I don't do facials, I don't swallow, I don't do cream pies with people I don't fucking know. Like like I'm here for a good time, not a long time, guys.
Wait, I was actually gonna ask because like you said you're only fucking. I was like, how on earth do you stay wet for that amount of time? But like 15 minutes, like I mean, you could definitely.
Yeah, so like people think it's like this like violent like nonstop rager. It's real. Like, I'll bring you to one. It's so chill. Like it'll be like I'll fuck like 10 dudes, and it'll be like 30 minutes, and then I'll just go hang out, snacks. We could just cuddle, all 10 of us, you know. And then I would just go back to it with a new crew, and a lot of guys who like, you know, some guys will approach and be like, hey, can I have sex with you in your next round? Or hey, like next time could we do this? And I could say yes or no.
So like when you're doing like these gangbangs, is it, so it's not a dungeon because dungeons are BDSM.
They're usually like freaking Ritz-Carlton ass hotels, bro.
Really?
Like, yeah, they're usually like some fucking like suite that someone's just rented out. And then people will either pay like a donation fee just to like pay off the room so we could all have it, because this isn't porn. This is just like real normal people, fucking you know, construction workers and Trader Joe's like cashiers just coming together and having an orgy. Yeah, so usually like we'll all pool together enough for a room, or we'll have donations, but sex is never guaranteed either. So it's not like an escorting situation where I'm there. Like I just show up because I like gangbangs, and then I get gangbang, you know, and then I leave whenever I want.
How fun!
Right? It's a blast.
So when you're doing things like couple swapping, do you ever feel like closer to your partner, or do you feel closer like you might need affection after? Like, how do you feel?
I feel like if I had a boyfriend and I like fucked someone else, I would like to fuck him after. Yeah. You know, like I like to like either finish or end with like my partner. Like at the end of the day, like just, you know, like to remember like my roots. But I also like to talk about it and like kind of recap. Like when I used to throw sex club parties every Friday. Wow. For 6 months straight, because I had my own little sex club like back in the day. I've had a long life of 24 years, and what would happen was like, you know, we would after we would have to clean up all the condoms on the floor, baby wipe everything, but we'd usually go to fucking Denny's afterwards, like, and debrief and be like, okay, that was weird, okay, let's bring this guy back, okay, she was hot, bring her again, and we would kind of like review everything play by play to like keep making these sex parties happen.
So can you explain like the concept of sex parties? Because like I think when people think of like sex parties, they're like, I am scared to go because I don't want to be violated. Like I'm scared to go because like, you know, having that many dicks in my face might like be scary, but like there is the opportunity to just like watch.
So yeah, of course. So there's so many different, I've done so many different types of sex sex communities. Like there's like mansions where it's like everyone's like eyes wide shut wearing the mask and wearing the gown, and like there's a sex performance and everyone claps. Like we've done that. And
wait, like it's like kind of like Broadway, but like just people having sex in front of you.
There'll usually be like a performance for like an hour, and then we all kind of clap, and then we're able to just do the things we want to do. I've been to dungeons where like we'll play like board games first, and then or like we'll play like a truth or dare or something, and then it happens. But usually it's just like hooking up with a guy, right? Like you don't just fucking start having sex. You talk. And, like, you probably do some dumb shit. You probably watch Ink Master for 2 hours. And then, like, you know, like, once it gets hot and heavy, you have sex or you don't. And luckily, like, there's enough people to go around where it's, like, you know, like, I have a lot of friends who just, like, watch and hang. I used to bring my old coworkers to, like, sex parties all the time. Like, and I would have them just, like, watch me, like, fuck. And they would just eat the snacks and shit.
Wait, was this when you were working at Shake Shack?
This was, yes, Shake Shack. I've done this with every job I've ever done. So like Shake Shack, when I was a marketing executive, I would always bring coworkers over. I remember I brought one guy to like this Asian only dungeon experience where they like held me down with like a dildo attached to a power drill, and they like just drilled my vagina in front of him. And I remember him being like, whoa, I cannot wait to go back to the office after this.
I feel like HR could have like, oh my gosh, that's so hilarious.
I was good at my job.
I think a lot of jobs like don't care as much as like people think they're going to care, as long as like if it's like sales, for example, as long as you're making the money. Like I was able to keep my Instagram. I was able to post pictures where my nipples were like basically out.
What did you used to do before this?
Sales.
Oh,
outside sales. I wasn't even good at my job and they didn't care.
Yeah, no, I felt like I was good at my job and no one could take that away from me. So even when like a little video of me sucking 50 dicks was leaked out to the whole office, they were still like, I mean, she's still like the top performer. Like I was doing like door-to-door sales. Doing so I worked as a marketing executive for this thing that helped out the Obama program. You know, where they help out with the homeless or low-income people getting free cell phones as long as they have government benefits. So I would go door-to-door in like the projects, go to Skid Row, go to every welfare office in LA, and I would just pitch people. But I was good at it, and I felt like it taught me how to just keep going. Like, you know, and like not take a no for an answer.
So when did you go to or get into sex work then, if you've had like all these jobs?
I feel like I've always been a sex worker, like regardless. Like at Shake Shack, I kept having because I went to school for film, so I was a film student, and I wanted to be on set all the time, you know. So like so it was either Shake Shack or a sugar daddy, and right, so that way I could call off and then have my sugar daddy that would pay off like the week, and I could still like go on set and like do the shit I need to do, right? So eventually I just started doing like sugar daddying full time, but I feel like I've always just been in and out of sex work, like regardless of if I had a normal conventional job or not.
So when did you start on OnlyFans?
I started in 2019. I was still doing my marketing job, but I didn't take it seriously until COVID happened, and I was like, do I really want to go door to door, like go to Skid Row with COVID? So I kind of was like, let me just focus on this. And also I wanted to buy some titties.
So those are really new.
Yeah, 2 years. I wanted to buy some titties, and all my sugar daddies had like weird sex slave like requirements to pay for my titties. So I was like, I'm gonna just buy my own titties, bro. So I just like worked really hard on my OnlyFans, and within the first month I was able to get titties. So I was like, cool. Well, what about like a car or like an apartment or like retirement? That'd be cool.
Did you already have an Instagram following before?
So I had been taking like, I've always been the type of Instagram to take like naughty pictures, but they weren't like the baddie pictures you see now. I feel like, have you seen like my old stuff? Like they were always like really kinky, like pictures of me tied up in the woods. Like they were like really artsy pictures that like no one, like that don't go blow up on Instagram. But I had like, and I just like took those pictures for fun. Like I have pictures of myself for free, like tied up in schoolgirl outfits, just doing like weird shit with octopuses and shit. So I was like really avant-garde for a sec. But I didn't really have a following. I got big on OnlyFans through Telegram, and then like once I got to 0.03 or something, I was like, man, these glitches are making it hard. Let me build a social so I can like always have income coming in.
Yeah.
So then I made an Instagram. So yay.
Woo!
Woohoo! I started my Instagram sometime last year, and I don't like making socials, but we have to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely part of the job. Except I don't think Instagram translates very well to OnlyFans for
Yeah.
whatever reason. Like, there are girls who have like 1 to 2 million followers, like making less than we are for some reason.
I feel like I do somehow, but I also feel like it's hard to gauge because I was already 0.01 before
Yeah.
Instagram anyway. So I feel like I'm just maintaining a cult following somehow.
Yes,
Yay!
it's the tits, it's the boobs,
It's the
or
boobs.
the ass,
Yeah.
the face,
The face.
the
It was-
horn.
It was the marketing executive things that like
Uh-huh.
kind of like made me be like, all right, let's do this. Like,
Yeah. So, what was your first like dungeon experience like
my
then?
first dungeon experience. So my first sex club experience.
Or sex club? I think I'm getting them confused.
So
I'm sorry.
dungeon is more BDSM-y, right? So like I've been to dungeons in Hollywood, where people are getting flogged or like they're getting set on fire or electrocuted.
Wait, what?
I have videos of me getting set on fire too, like that, and that was like all on my own.
Do you have like burns, like 3rd-degree burns?
No, it'd be like a little.
safe?
It'll be like a whip that like just kind of like flogs fire on you, but you'll be
Wow,
good. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've been
Wow.
like electrocuted. I've done stuff like that at dungeons. Now sex clubs, they have beds, they have
Okay.
mattresses, because at a lot of BDSM clubs you're not allowed to have sex. They just want you to like experience like whatever vibe you're trying to release or like unlearn from your trauma or whatever. But sex clubs like that, my first ever sex club experience was I was getting over my ex-boyfriend and I went on Tinder, and a guy's like Tinder profile was just a fucking sex club ad. So I was like, YOLO sauce, let's go.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you want to meet and get some coffee or meet in person first? And I was like, let's just fucking see what's going on. And we went, and it was a sex club, and it was awesome. Like, there was no pressure to do anything. I don't drink either. I'm a pretty sober living person. So I just was there living the moment. Like, and also like, I don't like loud music or dancing really. So, or getting lit. So I like that, like, it was like this, like we could talk, and then, if we were feeling the vibe, we could just have sex, or we don't, and then just fucking eat snacks.
Do you think like going to like a sex club would be like beneficial to anyone like healing from sexual trauma?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, like even at clubs, which I know we've talked about, it's like men feel like the need to grab you for whatever reason, or to like grope you, and it's like going to a sex club, I think, can be scary to people because you're like, if people are doing this at
They
clubs,
think it's like porn, right?
Yeah.
They think it's where it's like this hyper aggressive thing where no one asks questions and you're just a hole. But like I find like sex clubs and gangbangs specifically to be like a very empowering part of my life, because I feel like the conductor. People are there for my pleasure. Like my sex club when I started it, when I was 19, was called Haven, because it was supposed to be like a sexual haven for women to like, when I talk to a lot of women, a lot of them want to go to sex clubs and go to gangbangs, but they're afraid of that outer judgment, that it's like this crazy shit. And it's like, it's way more normal than you think. You will feel respected, and there's no pressure to do anything. Yeah.
definitely. Like, I also
like you'll feel like the center of attention, like you'll feel like a sexual being.
And you were actually like the first person to tell me how big like consent is, and these like you were like, someone has literally asked to like touch my elbow.
Yeah, no, people are like super about consent, because also it's a small community. Like I don't want to like, the people I've been seeing at these sex clubs, I've seen them for years.
Yeah.
So in the LA sex scene, like people have seen me at these dungeons, like from when I had blue hair to when I had bangs to when I looked like this to when I had a fake ass. So like if you are a fucking weird fuck, like you're just kicked out and you're not allowed back. And there's a lot of like different like club experiences as well. Like there's like obviously ones for people that are our age and younger, and then there's like the older crowd as well.
Yeah. So like at these sex clubs, is almost anyone like down for anything, or there's a lot of different like categories?
I would say there's a lot of different categories, but because like that social construct of like, are you here because you're into this type of stuff is gone, it's a lot easier to ask like, hey, like what are you into, or like, hey, what are you here for? Or I feel like I'm generally usually the sluttiest girl there. Like I love dick and I love gangbangs, but there's a lot of girls who like to watch. The last one I went to, there was a girl who was just giving out massages, and she just was like,
damn,
people were just lining up to get her like really sensual massage. And there was a lot of people just dancing and just like talking. So it's just cool. It's a cool community to be around.
So, I know you mentioned that you're the gangbang comedian.
The gangbang lady.
So what are some of those stories of you just feeling like a comedian when you're at these sex clubs?
I remember, like, there was this one time, it wasn't exactly a gangbang, it was, but there was, like, one woman there, and, like, all the guys were, like, touching on me, like, being, like, cool, nice, and she was like, oh my god, you're so hot, like, who wouldn't want to fuck you? And I was like, my mom? and like everyone stopped and was like, okay, well, yeah, I hope your mom wouldn't want to fuck you right now. I would say, dude, the funniest shit ever is, so like there's some gangbang etiquette, right? Number one is fucking shower. Because we all will smell it if you are like one stinky bro or one stinky lady or one stinky day, whatever you are. Right? So there was a guy who like, and again, these men are very like women's rights. Like, I love women feeling comfortable and not feeling like uncomfortable at all. And a guy came in and bro stank. And usually this is like a hotel room. So there's a shower, bro. Like you could shower. And, like, and he stank and he was about to like enter this woman. And one of the guys stopped him and was like, these women don't deserve you being fucking stinky, bro. Like they already go through so much. They already go through so much as a woman, and here you are smelling bad. And he was like, I don't know. I guess he was like, so they like all stopped what they were doing. This is so fucking funny. And they Trojan kicked him down the stairs, and he like toppled naked with like his little dick coming out.
Oh my god!
I was like, whoa, and he was not. He did not return.
Wow, we love some feminist men though.
Yeah, they were like, dude, they go through so much as women right now, and you have the audacity to not shower or fucking baby wipe.
Oh my god, yeah. I've had a lot of stink dick before where like a guy has like just come from the gym or something and like they for some reason are turned on by the fact I'll still suck it when they have stink dick, and I'm like, you know, not anymore, because I had no confidence or boundaries.
Yeah, you have boundaries now.
I have boundaries.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned to me too that the orgy food is your favorite. So kind of explain this process, because you fuck another guy, you overshare food.
I overshare my trauma, and then I get some food. So a lot of places will have a bunch of different food. There was one sex club I'll never forget that was like in Rosemead, fucking Pasadena, and it had a crock pot, and it always would have like jambalaya or like spaghetti and some shit. And I would always be like, I can't eat this right now, dude. Like I'm about to fucking like slob on a knob. I don't want like spaghetti coming out of my mouth. Like there'd be like mattresses on the floor, and it would be like lined with like paper plates full of spaghetti. And people would like line up in the buffet butt ass naked, like waiting for their food. And I'd be like, ew. So I don't like meaty, savory meals like that, but I like little like finger foods, like, you know, some hors d'oeuvres, like so, you know, like something that isn't like garlicky or chippy, like no tacos. I went to this sex club in Fort Lauderdale that actually had a buffet. And like at midnight, it would start serving breakfast, and an omelet lady would come out in the omelet station, and you could like point like, I want eggs and ham, and she would like, you know, hibachi that shit while like you just were fucking. Right? That's the future. That's what I want the rest of the world to look like.
So these men that you're like hooking up with, when you're just kind of going from like one man to another and you're like oversharing, do you feel like closer to them? Do you want to talk to them again, or is it just like at one moment? I feel
like the guys I meet at sex clubs are first of all, way more woke than the average guy, because you're here respecting women while seeing 17 dicks come on my face like, you know, over and over. So hats off to them. But I also feel like, you know, we just have more real conversations when like you're seeing me like have sex, and then you're seeing me naked, and you're seeing me laugh and just talk to other people while having sex. So like I feel like you just get to know me on such a deeper level. So I feel like the guys I meet there are like, we're like for lifers, bro. Like we're homies for life. You really see me like throat your homie's dick, and like we're still getting like in and out after. Like that's lit.
So you said you want to talk about the concept of like having a train ran on you.
Oh, like the concept of it, like.
Or is that what you wanted to talk about?
Oh, the mental capacity.
The mental capacity.
So again, like I love attention. That's why I'm so great at my job.
Is having a train ran on you different than a gangbang?
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a gangbang, but like. It just feels like you're in so... I don't know if you know Annabelle Chong. She is like my Jesus. She did 300 guy gangbang for 10 hours. She went to USC. She's also Asian, so look her up. She's like the gangbang god for like Asian. She's like our patron saint of like gangbangs. But like she said really famously one time, there's no difference between having sex with one guy for 10 hours or 10 guys for 10 hours. Yeah. It's just a visual. At the end of the day, like, unless a guy is doing something really crazy or like his dick is like just different, it's sex. Like it's sex, and there's a lot of them, and there's like a lot of visuals of like all these men smiling at you and high-fiving you and asking if you're okay, right? Like it's just awesome. Like everyone's like, you know, there'll be like one guy and he'll be like giving you a foot massage, the other guy's sucking your toes, the other guy's like rubbing your hair, holding your hand, and then 2 other guys are plowing you, and it's just awesome. And then you feel respected after. And that's the important part, is that I've had a lot of bodies, you know, and you know, like we all like had like some type of religious experience growing up where our parents said like, you know, don't have sex till marriage, or don't have sex or you'll go to hell. At the end of the day, the real fact of the matter is just have sex with people who respect you. Because I only have sex with people that respect me, and that's why I don't feel like a shitbag, you know, like I feel I have sex with people who legitimately will tell you afterwards like that was fucking cool.
Do you think like you could possibly even find a relationship at one of these sex clubs?
Oh yeah, my friend, she's a gangbang girl. She just got married and she just had her first kid.
Oh my god!
To a guy she met at the gangbang that I met. Like I was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. So I feel like it's just so much more honest. You know, I've met like a lot of girls and guys who are both like, yeah, like my boyfriend. I would never tell my boyfriend that I've done this before. I like doing this, and I'm like, you're missing out on that one perfect person who would love that shit. You know, you're missing out on a person who's like, oh, I wish I had a girl who could gangbang. Because I know lots of girls who would love to get gangbang, but they're just not open of sharing it because so many men are fuckers about it.
Yeah, especially like a lot of like these men on TikTok and like these men. And then what is musical chairs with penises and vaginas?
Musical chairs? I think I forgot what that was about, but it's just. I actually did forget what that was about. Oh, okay. I don't know if I did that actually. I don't think
you were saying that like basically you go from like you like run to one penis.
I like to run to one penis, sit on it, and just. I'm a gangbang girl, and I also like to like make women come too. So I like to just kind of like make sure, you know, I'm doing my little dance. I like to do my rounds around a party. Yeah, because I'll only hook up with you for like 5 minutes. It's like making out with a girl at a club. Like we'll make out, and I'll freaking finger you on a dance floor, and then like I'll wash my hands, and then I'll just go and finger someone else.
Do you have like the finger, like the no nails on the? Yes. Do you have like any last words for like people, like, you know, just ending like the stigmas on like gangbangs, like being open about your sexuality, like what, like, I mean, even like humanizing us as people for like doing sex work, like.
I mean, first of all, it's. I think I tell like all like my hoes it's not your business what other people think about you. Yeah. It's really not your business at all what I think about you. Like it's like I can have my own personal opinion about you, and you can have my own personal opinion about me, and it's not our business. What matters is that we're just living in a civilized society, and even if you did something that I don't like, I don't want to kill it with fire. Right, because I feel like that's the thing. Like a lot of people ask themselves, like, would I do that myself? No, I wouldn't do a gangbang. Let's kill her with fire. Right? Like, who fucking cares? I would never have a gangbang with you. Like, that's I would never gangbang you. Like, we would never meet in real life. And another thing is just like, just have sex with people that respect you. It's not about the quality or the quantity at all. It's about like, do you want to have sex with this person? They want to have sex with you, and they still see you as a human being at the end of the day. If that happens to be 500 dudes at the same time, like, power to you. Yeah. You know?
Beautiful. Woo-hoo. All right, plug yourself.
Hi, my name is Kazumi. You can find me on Kazumi's World on OnlyFans and Fansly, and my Instagram is not Kazumi's World. Woo!
Woo! She's shadow banned, so you literally have to type everything out.
Yeah, I'm very shadow banned.
And then my social, you can just find everything on itsdeels.com, and then everything will be there, baby.
Yay!